Well, you're listening to the Lisa Wexler Show, where we talk about pop culture to politics and healthcare to legal issues. And it's true, that's in my intro, and I love that. And I try and touch on all of that a little bit, at least, in every show. So with respect to pop culture, I wanted to let you know that last night I wrote a blog on hollybaby.com. And I don't have it right in front of me. I should, but maybe you can get it from me, Jill. Thanks. But essentially, I asked the question, and I meant it as an ask: Are unwed pregnant celebrities setting a good example? That's the question I ask. And I know that it's treading into very deep water, because look what happened to poor Dan Quayle when he had the nerve, the temerity, to actually suggest that the plot line of a major popular sitcom at the time called Murphy Brown, those of you old enough to remember such things will remember that there was a big hoo-ha over that, and it was exactly 20 years ago, by the way. It was exactly 20 years ago. It seems like much longer ago. But it was 20 years ago that Murphy Brown, who was she played a very glamorous, like a Diane Sawyer type, a very glamorous TV star, only somebody who in her personal life really couldn't get along with anybody except her house painter. Remember that? Anyway, I think his name was Elwood or something. Elgin? Eldon, exactly. Eldon, the house painter. Thank you, Julia. Anyway, she couldn't get along with virtually anybody else, but she found herself pregnant. She was single, and she decided to have the baby, and she decided that she would raise the baby alone, and that made a major headline, and Dan Quayle made a speech in which he said, you know what, I'm not so sure that sets such a good example for America, because after all, we don't want to discount the importance of the father. And boy, did he get creamed by the liberal press, by the press in general. I mean, he got smashed. He really got smashed. He got smashed so far down that they actually created an entire episode of Murphy Brown devoted to what he said, and they sort of made it as if he said it in real life on the sitcom. They cleverly sort of did it in order to get back at him. And nobody remembers, although you can go on Wikipedia and find out, that Candace Bergen herself said after the fact, you know what? He said a perfectly reasonable, rational thing with which I don't disagree. Nobody thinks fathers are not important. I couldn't agree with him more. So it got blown out of proportion what he meant. But he said it because celebrities set an example. And even though celebrities, some of them would like to have the best of both worlds, they'd like to have the riches and fame without the responsibilities and obligations that go with being a public figure, the truth of the matter is that they are public figures to their audience, and they do set an example to their own fan base. And there's just been an enormous, and I mean enormous, it's almost more commonplace now to be an unwed mother than it is to be somebody who's married. I actually think it seems far more common in terms of the headlines of all these women that are having babies. I can point to more that aren't married than are married. And this has been a trend. We just reported to you not too long ago that there has been a trend in America that increasingly some people find marriage obsolete altogether. And if you find marriage obsolete, then what are we talking about? Then who cares, committed or not committed? People still want to have babies. But I don't find marriage obsolete. I like the idea of a committed relationship. It doesn't work for me every day, but I'm married 29 years this past weekend, and so I guess that means poo-poo, knock wood. My husband and I are both working at it hard enough so that so far it's lasted, for which I thank the fates and luck and love and everything else, because, there's a lot to it. But, and I know that death and divorce very often mean that even with the best of intentions, people that set off to become two-parent families don't work out that way. We know this. 1 out of every 2 marriages ends in divorce. And widowhood is something that is one of the unforeseen, terrible tragedies of life. So there's a lot of kids that have been raised by single parents for a lot of reasons, and they've come out perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And there have been a lot of kids raised by two-parent families that are wrecks in every way. And I wrote that in the article on Holly Baby. But nonetheless, I do think because society's mores are changing at such a dramatic rate, they really are. I mean, they are really catapulting into a different place. Whereas we went from a place where it was sin and disgrace to have a baby born out of wedlock, and that wasn't a good place to be, to a place where it was accepted, and now it's something that is bragged about. I think it bears a serious conversation with people of all generations. So I'm curious to know, you can read the blog if you like, but does it touch a chord with you? All these celebrities very happy about that they are embarking on unwed motherhood. Now, keep in mind, some of them have a man by their side. Some of them are engaged. Some of them are not engaged, but some of them are very much two-parent families. Others don't appear to be that way. Or do you think it just makes no matter? I will tell you statistically it matters. Statistically, overwhelming majority of kids born to an unwed mom end up in poverty, and poverty is not a good place to be. Let me assure you of that. And I will tell you that statistically, at least historically, again, society's mores are changing, so I can't predict what it will be for these children 20 years from now. But certainly looking back on 20, 40, 60 years ago, the children born of that society's status ended up not doing as well by all the measures of sociology research. And then there's the question of love. There's the question of what is a child entitled to in life? I personally think a child is entitled to a mother and a father. Okay, now you can push me against the wall, and you can call me a reactionary conservative from the 18th century. But having grown up with a mother and a father, I can't imagine who I needed more, who developed me more as a character, as a person, who imprinted upon me more my self-esteem, my gender identity, my respect for myself as a woman, and the respect that I would have for a man later on. I just think fundamentally children need to be raised by both genders. And that's gay and straight children, by the way. Gay and straight children. And I think that since we're in this age of vast experimentation right now, it's going to be born to be true, B-O-R-N-E. It will turn out to be born true that in order to be the most possible well-adjusted person you are, with the best chances, and I don't mean perfect chances because life is not perfect, but the best possible chance of growing up well-adjusted, you need a mom and a dad.